It's been like 5 years now? 4 years?
So who died?
Patrick Swayze, also known as the Ghost from Ghost. Well, one of several ghosts, but the ghost in the title refers to him.
How does that affect, like when you have a shape?
Do you have another pen?
I think this is AF. Is there a trash? That one's fine. I blame AF because
Everyone's
writing all the time.
Just put it in your pocket here.
Is that not a good one?
That works. Trash can.
There used to be a trash can.
There used to be.
It would have made it.
I mean, at the beginning, you're kind of like, I feel like I know more of what this is. You still feel that way, though, it seems like, right?
I mean, I kind of do at times, and then when I get home, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do this differently, or I'm not thinking about this enough. But when I get in here, it's like, it's fine, especially after like meetings and when everyone's together. It's reassuring because everyone's so awesome. But yeah, I haven't had a crisis moment. There's still time.
Does it make sense to be a hammer instead of a sword? Like sword's more for
Because you're
for stabbing, right? Like
Oh shit, Chad! Yes. maybe it's a hammer.
Yeah.
But one of the guys you did had like a mace.
I did have a singed mace, which would be sweet if we had physical animation because it would like bounce off shit.
One of the other teams made a floppy hammer.
No.
Because the only reason you would want to go high in the first place is if somebody put their head way up high, like they're like the bong again. Or
Is that what that is?
It's a bong. I'm sorry.
on the left, like once he punches the bong guy in the face and the bong guy gets ejected, right?
Yeah.
Then he can't do anything about the bong guy's pot laying on the ground anymore, right?
No,
Like,
but he can get out and inhabit it.
Unless he
Oh, okay.
fell over because he's unstable
Yeah.
and was swinging while he
Right.
was falling over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like
Yeah, that'd be
some
cool.
cool things that
That'd be
just
cool.
emerge from this. So today at the meeting, it was going to be a combat meeting. I had it on the books for just talking about general combat stuff, but we couldn't really do that until we solved the physical animation problem that we had.
So we initially had set up physical animation as a way for the pot to be able to run into environment collision and then react in a semi-realistic physical way. So like when the pot runs into a wall, it'll tilt over, and I'm assuming we could do more with that, like have the pot roll away, or Chad was talking about having the center of mass of the pot dictate whether the pot will roll away or not, based on the physics simulation. The physical animation doesn't seem to react well to moving joints around. It was being really funny. And I'm not sure if that's something we can kind of overcome, or I'm sure there's probably a better way to do it. But with my limited knowledge of blueprints and physical animation in general, I wasn't able to get past that. So I just turned off physical animation for now because I felt
Just to be clear, like this feature results in what?
It makes the collisions and physics much more satisfying. If there is no way to fix it.
Yeah, I mean the real question is like,
that's
how long do we spend trying
Right.
to figure out this way to fix it? Probably
Yeah.
at least
I'm sure
another
there's-
couple hours, you know?
sure there's a solution. I just don't know what it is.
And if we have physical animation, then I feel like a grab would be really satisfying to do. But if we don't have physical animation, then let's not bother with it. So that's kind of why I wanted to like talk about that now and get it resolved now, or at least as soon as possible, so that we can go down different combat routes. When I think about the pitch, I think about like, I had 3 main pillars of it. Like, you can create a shape. I didn't specify it had to be insane clay tech, but that you that you just can make a shape, that it reacts accordingly to what the shape is, and that we have multiplayer. And so if like we have to spend time outside of anything, it sounds like the clay tech is it's very cool, and I want to try it, but it sounds like the other stuff
Well, also, like,
feed into it. But like, first we had to talk if that was a problem that we wanted to take the time to solve, because programmer time is very very valuable.
having all hands on deck to answer that question during the first week, is totally worth it. Because even if I don't get to the clay throwing, where I can actually sit down and like really chew through it until next week, I'd rather these guys be able to go nuts with physical animation. That would be a better trade-off than saying you guys are on your own until I'm emerge from the cave with this clay tech. Yeah, exactly.
Imagine we're gonna come back from the weekend. You're just gonna have clay all over your arms and like a big pot and a big grin on your face.
Like, how did you even do that with code?
Was it heartening to see all these programmers like pile on to this problem?
Yeah,
Just
it
be
was,
like, "We're
it
gonna
was
fix
really
it."
cool. I'm glad that they also saw the value in it. Because I wasn't sure if like people didn't really want it, didn't think it was going to be important or not, and I'm glad that everyone kind of just agreed that we should have this for this game. So
Right now, if you hit play, there's no physical animation, correct?
There's physics simulation, but no physical animation.
Right, there's physics simulation, but even that is broken. So step A is still broken before we get to step B, the physical animation. Has simulation on it, it works.
sorry, I can't like when someone's talking, I can't talk. It's really hard.
Because we haven't applied physics. We haven't. Now clappable, right?
Unless somebody thinks that it's going to be easy to debug how to make that thing behave properly, we should probably just constrain it a lot more than it is.
That's up to.
I submitted a static one if you want to swap it out. We've got big floppy T-bone steaks and bowling balls and a turtle that will fire at you, and it takes place in tennis hell because Miyuki drew a picture that had this big weird tennis ball, angry god throwing tennis balls at you, and then James put that in the level and I think put angry lighting on it, and it looked like you were in hell, so we just sort of had Emily do a quick concept with giant flames, and Tazio's making these awesome flames that are a little bit like stage fabric flames, kind of blowing in the wind. And it's one of those things that's like the delight of VR is from outside it looks like a very, very simple level, and then when you put it on, there's this giant angry tennis ball looming over you, and it feels like a huge sense of scale and very, very strange. So we're just on the cusp of actually getting that thing in and working, and when we do, then we can use that to start debugging.
I don't know, why is it ripped?
Is this the right way to hold it? Can
You can hold it from anywhere, I think.
And that affects like what posture it takes? God, this feels horrible. It's like psychologically, it's so horrible to have a floppy hammer.
You can throw it too. It's pretty satisfying.
Is there a safety area?
You're good in front of you.
Where'd my other hand go?
Sometimes it does. That's why I want to nail it to the post. So I think that stuff's pretty important for how the game should feel. Because you should have no idea what you're doing. Please use that.
I kept seeing Tim lingering around for your project.
Yeah.
Do you think he's taking a special interest since it was his pick?
I don't know because I'm not hanging around with the other projects to see if he's lingering around those other projects. I think ours looks a little fun already. Like it looks like a thing to do. So as opposed to like a lot of, I think, things that are more third-person character games, which a lot of the other teams are building, like they've got to get their very basic character up and running, and they've got a little gameplay up and running, whereas like you can play with a floppy hammer in our game already, and it's kind of fun. I mean, obviously it's his pick. He would like it to be good, and hopefully we will be good, but ultimately we're making something for lots of people. So that would be a good one. Where they can knock objects. Can you slap objects with
Yes,
your
you
hands?
can.
Oh, you can? Oh, you got
I
that?
just ran out of objects, so let me get the thing back.
All right.
So I have another question. Sorry for all these questions.
So what I would like to do in the mornings is review what we did yesterday, see where we are. If there's things that people call out of like, we have to do this right now, let's add a task. If it's just general discussion about like, hey, what are we going to do about it? We should note it, and we'll do it after we finish sort of where we are. The short version, we make the game not broken, and then we can add polishy stuff, all the polishy stuff later. So let's just go through real quick what got done yesterday. What got done tomorrow? Like we're getting to the point where we're starting to build a lot of assets. Are we happy with the art style? Because you had made some revisions to the hammer, but we never made the hammer. But now the hammer is in the game and floppy and adorable, and everybody loves it. We should probably wait until we have a full level before we make any changes. All right. Figuring out a solution for objects that fly out of the world and need to respawn. When do you want to grab that, or just grab it when you get to it? That's like my kids. There we go.
I don't know.
Oh no!
I'll do it.
Okay. The hope for the tennis game was that we would get something that not only would sort of be a live fire test of a lot of our core gameplay, but be something that we could put other people in front of. Arrange your schedule so that you could get to playtest as soon as you possibly can, and then start doing it as soon as you possibly can. And that's going to be tricky here because everybody's super busy. So I don't know how much access we'll be able to get to everybody. But hopefully we can get some people in there.
Does it even go down?
Let me sit how I want to be. I feel short now.
we're not having too much playing of the game right now. We're kind of still building a lot of the pieces, and they haven't all come together yet.
Yeah, we have some little dudes running around with AI. This is our representative fruit right now. You can pick it up and run around with it on your fist and drop it, throw it. So you'd be able to like bean an animal with the fruit.
Do you think there's a reason you're not meeting as much as the other teams? Is it just due to the nature of the game, or is it because it's a more programmer-centric game?
Yeah, I don't think there's as many unknowns. This game has a lot of mechanics that are kind of known quantities that we can just get up and running quickly without having to figure it out. We know how to do basic attacks and how to pick things up and drop them. It doesn't need like a brainstorm meeting to figure that stuff out.
Do they attack you? Is there any attack?
Not yet. One of these guys will run up to you and he'll just kind of dry hump you a little bit.
Can I see that?
So I think that kind of watching someone play and reacting to it and getting excited about that isn't really happening yet at this point. Whereas the VR project, they have floppy hammers and all sorts of fun stuff to look at and enjoy.
Did you go meet with Tim today?
Oh, like he offered if we wanted to like come and see him, go to his office to like hide or cry or something. No, he stopped by my desk briefly, took a quick look at stuff, but I haven't actually had a good chance to talk to him a lot. There isn't like winter here; it's a radiation storm that comes, and so that like accelerates the evolution of the creatures because they're getting a lot of radiation.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat. That's cool. Right.
I mean, I think Asif's got probably a tougher learning curve than I do on this because he hasn't been as closely involved in making games as I have before. And so it's not just the being a lead of a team, it's being the lead of a team and making a game. So.
Actually, give me 2 seconds. Get back. See you, man. Thanks, man. Generally speaking, it's day 3, and we had like a big review meeting this morning to go over some more like game flow breakdown that I had done. Get to me.
Okay.
Other than, hello.
Good morning. Levi, do you want to start today?
Hi, my name is Levi.
Hello, Levi.
Hi, Levi. I'm going to focus on overall what we're building the arena out of on a larger scale. Here around the edge, just what kind of stuff you won't get to, and just will be flavor. So that'll be me today.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. And yeah, I'm done with the main character yesterday, so I'll just keep working on the
Okay, yeah, the main character's looking great, by the way. Good stuff.
I think the goal would be to try to get that version of the character in the game as soon as we can.
Where's the list of animations you're using? Where's that from?
You mean the ones that I am creating, or because I pulled everything over, so
okay,
I'm
so you
just replacing.
Okay.
This is kind of a run I'm working on. Still got to tone down some arm movement right now, but Asif wanted kind of this like asymmetrical run. Yeah, he's got kind of a weird limp going on, not because he's like hurt or anything, but because he's just kind of a beat up guy. He's not really your traditional like stand upright, chest out hero. He's a little drunk, I guess, so so he has to drink away his problems, I guess. So I might, give him some fidgets later. We call fidgets are basically like, after the idle's playing for a while, he'll do some random animation, and maybe it'll be, show more of his sobriety or not. That's kind of the basis for that character. And the god, we also need to talk about later, but I have some ideas for the god as well, because that will be fun to give a personality to. Yeah.
Has this been harder than the documentary, for Amnesia Fortnight specifically?
No, because that was insane. No one should do that. I don't know why you guys are doing it, but I'm a little sad that I'm not doing it just because like there's a lot of energy in this studio right now. I just hear it around me constantly, and like I'm sure it's really fun to. I think the biggest difference is that despite how busy it is and how much there is going on and how stressed I feel sometimes, like there are also the moments where I get to like have that like creative rush, and it's easy to get sort of high off of that. Whereas like when we were doing the doc, like we're just like in this weird zombie state because we're not sleeping, and like even though I know that I've edited the episode that I just shot yesterday to my satisfaction, I'm still super tired and just like not here. The only thing that like I would say that I don't think we've ever gotten on camera is just finding like a secluded corner somewhere just to like hide for 5 minutes. I needed to do that today for sure. Because like, and it's not that anyone is doing anything to stress me out at all. It's just like, as the days go on, you realize how few days we actually have left. That can be enough to be very like stifling, or like, I don't know, like if it makes me like freeze up a little bit and I can't think anymore, like get anything done. So like, I just like went upstairs to the floor above us and just like stood in the hallway for a few minutes and didn't like look at my phone or like think about anything. And then I came back and it was fine. So I don't think we've seen anyone do that before, which is good because they probably found a place that was private and they needed that. So we should not try and get that from anybody on any of these teams. I'm having a lot more sympathy for everyone that's like led the projects before, and for Tim especially.
Question for you, Claire. How much has Asif changed? Is he a big time in you guys now? Sitting in the big red chair?
Sometimes I just come into that room and just take a what? I was gonna say something, but I realized I was being filmed.
Sorry, let me.
No, that's all right.
It's okay to not talk. It's
No, I
okay
know.
to just stop yourself from saying the thing.
I'll just waggle some bananas instead of talking next time.
Yeah. Not to say everything.
Is this part?
In case you need it.
Yeah, just no, I'm not gonna do that with this.